All right, everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video Fat Phil. And so today I want to talk about the territory battle raid rewards. Like, where are these? Where are our TB rewards? Why is it taking so long? We're going to get into the communication there that I think has kind of been missing. And I don't want to say that this is Meathead's fault. Like, I think it's probably he hasn't gotten word from everybody else to share, with the community as a whole. But I also want to talk about something else that's kind of really bugging me about Galaxy of Heroes right now, and it has to do with the over and undervaluation of certain packs, characters, and things inside of the game. So let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's give a huge shout out to all of our channel members for their continued support. If you're ever interested, that link is down below, along with, more importantly, the link to the Discord. The Discord's an awesome place, constantly sharing, advice, inputs, comparing mods. It's a great server, guys. I obviously a little bit biased, but I highly recommend joining. So let's flip over here. Let's kind of talk about what's going on. So if you remember back when TB was canceled, right? They came out with the developer, Meathead came out with the post, hey, we apologize. As a result, we're canceling TB, and at a later time, we will be rewarding you with your previously completed TB results. And then he said, hey, the update has gone out. Our plan is to provide you rewards from your most relevant TB in the near future. We will keep you posted. Well, at the time of recording, that was a week ago. So a week ago, they canceled TB. They called it. No input since then of when we're going to get additional rewards. And just to kind of flip back into the game here and explain something, and some of you may get lost in this, but hear me out. Back in the day, so I'm an accountant. And back in the day, I was in public accounting, and we used to audit employee benefit plans. And so in a regular audit, there's this thing called materiality. That, hey, Capital Games, I earned 1,000, guild event currency last time. You only gave me 990. Like, those 10 don't matter, right? Like, I'm not going to sweat it over those 10. But hey, you shorted me 100. That's a bit more material, right? Like, just for the sake of argument, right? That's kind of the concept of like this materiality thing. Well, in an employee benefit plan, the materiality threshold was so small because you're saying, hey, my 401k is $1, like your employee's 401k is $1 short. That's a problem because that's money that they could be, earning interest on, which sounds crazy, but that was the rule. That was the letter that we had followed. Well, CG kind of holding these rewards back from us not only is problematic because like we should have gotten territory battle rewards on Sunday. It's now Tuesday. But also, like, you think that is how many days that we're without territory battle rewards, that you've released packs into the game, that Grand Arena locks are coming in. Like, there's all of this stuff that people could be using those rewards for that they're not able to do. So, one of the things that I think frustrates me is that, like, they not only need to give us the rewards that we earn, but to make good on top of it. Because this was not something that, like this was a completely their fault, right? This was completely on them that they messed up. So, in those instances when it's like, oh, this wasn't working as intended, they should give us a make good. Like, that's different than this was purely a bug on their end of them trying to push something out. And, like, you want to earn brownie points with your community, this is the way to do it. I get that you guys are always like, oh, you're begging for free rewards. I only ask that we get compensated for the time that the rewards weren't in our account, that we could be making updates and changes, because like there's some big stuff going on that people could be using those rewards for that they can't, right? Especially before a Grand Arena lock-in. So that does bother me a little bit. Again, it's been a week with no communication on when we're supposed to get those rewards. And the thing is, you could have at least, like, I think part of the hiccup, the hiccup, whatever, part of that, in my opinion, is probably them trying to figure out the special mission rewards to give everybody. Because if we just look, they know exactly what your territory battle history is, right? Like, if I just look at this guild here, right? Like, you can see, hey, they got 30 stars. And if you go on swago.gg, there's all of that information there. So you can see the stars that any guild got in territory battles. Even the last time, you go to swago.gg and you can see, like, their entire history. So that data is kept somewhere. So they could have at least done that already. So, like, I don't know why they didn't give us the stars and then say, hey, we're working on the special missions. Like, I think to me, this is an oversight on their end. They really need to work on getting this out. Like, do I appreciate the Jar Jar news? Absolutely. But, like, give us some territory battle rewards. Like, let's get something on the line here, right? So that was like the one thing that's kind of been bothering me. But the other side of this has to do with the valuation of things in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. To flip over back to the forums, I want to scroll and show you guys another tab here. So we're going to go back to the forums. All right, so here we are. So this is talking about the promotions that they were doing, right? Where they're going to reward out, 330 shards of Jedi Knight Anakin, 330 shards of Darth Vader, and then giving out chests of crystals and a crate of crystals, right? And if you scroll down here a little bit, right? The chest of crystals is valued at $20, right? That's normal. But look right here. 330 shards of Jedi Knight Anakin valued at $37.50 USD, 34.88 euros. And 330 shards of Darth Vader valued at 120 USD, 111 euros. Like, you're telling me that 330 shards of Jedi Knight Anakin is worth $37. Like, you want to know what the problem is in Galaxy of Heroes? It's literally spelled out right here. That is literally why there's so many problems with the early game, is that they're valuing a 7-star level 1 gear 1 Jedi Knight Anakin at $37.50. Just to show you how obscene that is, right? How absurd this is, guys. Just hold on here, right? You're telling me that the Hyperdrive bundle that gives me a level 80 gear 8 Anakin at 5-star as one of the, with 64 other characters at that same point, is $50, with all of these ships at level 80 and 5 stars with the capital ships there, with all of these resources for $50, with all of this unlock access. Like, how is that $50 if a 7-star Anakin is $37.50? To me, that is exactly the problem that is happening in Galaxy of Heroes that's keeping people from progressing. They refuse to come off of the fact that a 7-star Jedi Knight Anakin realistically should be worth maybe like $3 by himself. Maybe not even $3. There's no value there. He's an older character. You can buy 65 of them at 5-star in the Hyperdrive bundle. Like, this to me is the problem in Galaxy of Heroes. That there's 5 different games that are being played. You've got the people who just started playing on an account. They're not playing the same game that Arnold's playing. I don't even play the same game that Arnold plays because he's, Datacrons and all the Omicrons and the newest characters and Relic 9s. Like, that's a completely different game compared to like what I face in the lower level of Kyber 1. And the lower you get, the different those games get, because most of the players I'm going up against have all the GLs. They have all the characters, maybe missing 1 or 2, compared to like when I was in, when I was a lot lower and you had maybe 1 Galactic Legend. Like, it's a completely different game. And I think that's where their biggest struggle is. It's this, they've basically created 5 games in one based on where your galactic power is, what you have access to, and that a lot of it stems from this issue of valuation. You cannot tell me, I am sorry, but you cannot tell me that Anakin is valued at $37.50 and a 7-star Darth Vader is valued at $120, right? You're telling me 330 shards of this dude is worth $120. How, in what world does that make sense? In what world does that make sense? I mean, look, 80 shards of him I can buy for $20 here. Like, I don't get it, right? I don't get it. And just to like put this in perspective, right? So you need to buy this, 6 times to get, like, if you buy this 6 times, you got well over, like, the Darth Vader shards all of a sudden aren't worth that much money. So I don't know. I'm not seeing where they get these prices from and how they're getting their valuations. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I think that's why I get I'm so frustrated right now with like the TB stuff, is that they very clearly just have kind of lost touch with what valuations actually make sense in the game. Think about the Lightspeed bundles that were $10 that basically gave you a Galactic Legend. Like, it's frustrating because it's keeping players in certain areas from being able to progress at all, because you're locking something that has been in the game for years behind an obscene amount of money. Like, even like the Hyperdrive bundle, as good as this is, right? And we always say this is probably the best pack in the game, which, like, outside of the Lightspeed bundles, I'd agree. But the thing is, you're still not halfway done with these characters. Not even forget the gear perspective for a second. You're not halfway done with their stars at 5-star. So, I'm not saying that you make this $5. I'm not saying you make it 10. I'm just saying that I think maybe we start giving out a little bit more stuff with these things. Because if you're telling me that you value a 7-star Anakin at $37.50, like just for reference sake, 30, just call it $30 even for the sake of argument. I mean, $30 is what you're selling, the Gungan packs for with 5 Omicrons. Like 30 shards of the brand new character, 5 Omicrons, all this stuff is worth $30. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the correlation. Maybe I'm just, like, you guys tell me if I'm just complaining too much and that, Phil, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. I feel like this is causing issues. I mean, number one, like, I'm already pissed off about the TB rewards. But I think more than that, it's jarring to see that. Like, you guys can't tell me that you're looking at that and saying, man, like $20 worth of crystals, right? So the chest of crystals, 2,800 crystals, right? You're telling me that the 2,800 crystals, right, is that a Jedi Knight Anakin is worth, this, and this, that he's worth this many crystals. I just don't see it, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they maybe need to adjust some of that to recognize that, like, dude, the guy's been in the game for how many years at this point? So let me know your guys' thoughts. Is this too much? Am I being a whiner and a complainer, or like, do you guys see my logic here? That it's just they're really losing touch, I think, with how much things are valued in the game, and I don't see the correlation between bundle 1 versus bundle 2 versus $37.50. So, like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.